Okay, so I need you to defend something for me.
Oh God, what?
Feyre, falling in love with her captor, Stockholm Syndrome, much.
Okay. What about?
Well, I mean, he took her from her family as punishment.
Yeah, but she did kill his friend.
Okay, she didn't know he was a Fae, first of all, which, I mean, she would have, regardless if she knew he was a Fae or not. Let's be honest, because Feyre is terrified of Fae at the beginning of the book. That's why she's carrying that ash arrow with her.
In his defense, it's
There's a
complicated.
curse, Leslie, and he's using her to break the curse. There are ulterior motives here.
100%, you are right. And she forgives him and goes, "Oh, I'll do this for you. I love you, and I'm going to run after you and come back and save your entire world."
Right. Toxic AF.
Yeah, but I love Beauty and the Beast. So it totally like just follows right along with
Listen,
that.
Beauty and the Beast slaps no matter how you put it, okay? Every girl is wanting to tame that beast of a man she meets. But are we setting our girls up for false expectations? Are we setting them up when we give them stories like this to believe that they can fix him?
Hell yeah, we are, but it's worth reading.
I guess. I guess you're right. I couldn't put it down. And I'm not saying that it doesn't slap. I'm just saying that this is why, you know what? This is why we're here to discuss this.
This
This is why
is.
we're here. We're here, guys.
And if you
It
love Beauty and the Beast, stay tuned. The Fae version hits differently.
it does. It hits differently. And if you haven't figured it out, we're here to dissect the book that started a trend. Not a trend, I'm
A
sorry,
cult.
a movement. The book that started a movement for all us weirdos who love porn in our books.
Smut, smut, smut.
A Court of Thorns and Roses, where it all began, y'all. Buckle in, here we go.
Welcome to Pickle Party, where a menace gets a little naughty. Join the bride, it's book club time. Tropes and memes and feeling oh my.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pickle Party. Let's dissect book one.
Book one of the ACOTAR series, otherwise known as A Court of Thorns and Roses, for those of you who have been listening to us and are like, what the hell are they talking about?
It will, if you haven't read it, I'm telling you guys, it will change you. I never was a fantasy romantasy girl. I like some fantasy books, yes, but as soon as I read that book, I dove in. I am like 90 books later of smut.
So I'm trying to think, and in terms of fantasy for me before this, I mean, Harry Potter. I loved Harry Potter and I loved Hunger Games. I loved Hunger Games, but I never would have been one of those people in a bookstore to go to the fantasy section
Right.
specific. Those books obviously were recommended to me. They weren't something I sought out. But now that I have, I'm there for it.
Exactly. And weird thing, I was reading a ton of self-help. Like I love psychology books and I was deep diving. My cousin goes, "You should read this." And it's because there was
I'm
a
sorry. Can I stop you right there? How depressed were you reading all those self-help books? Was your cousin like, Leslie, every time I talk to you, you sound like you just got out of the world's worst therapy session, and I'm going to need you to lighten it up a bit. Was that how that conversation went?
maybe. I'll have to ask Amy.
We need to bring her on at some point
Me
just to
too.
tell us.
Oh. But no, there was a library summer reading challenge with the boys. And so they kind of bet me that they could read more than me. And so with this, you had to read so many categories. Well, I had jumped into a couple different fantasy ones and I enjoyed them. Granted, all I'd been reading was self-help. So, anything's better than that. And so
I'm feeling really bad for that, Leslie. Like I'm feeling bad for circa a year and a half ago, Leslie.
I've
I'm
learned
so
a lot
concerned.
though from them. It was good techniques in them, but
That's good.
so I told her I had read this fantasy book, and she goes, "Oh, you need to get into this," and that's when the whole world started. Because then, as soon as I read that one, I was like, "Okay, I'll read the next one." So I got through all five of those, and then she just kept hitting me with more and more and more and more what I need to read, and just snowballed.
Have you read all of the Throne of Glass
Oh,
series? Oh my God, I just stumbled over that.
no, I'm on book five and I'm having a really hard time. I know it gets good
Can I
then.
ask, is it because there's no pickles?
There are no pickles. And it's so dry. It's good story. I'm not saying that the characters aren't great. I love the characters. I'm just bored. I'm freaking bored. And I know it gets better once you get to the 5th book because I'm in Queen of Shadows. And I have borrowed it from the library twice now and can't read it.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
So I am going to. I was thinking in my head today because I knew we were going to record ACOTAR and we're finishing Crescent City. And I'm like, you know what? I just need to do it. I need to finish Throne of Glass. And that's another one of my cousins like, you got to finish it. You just have to finish it. And I'm going to do it.
That's like me with Crescent City. So maybe you'll be more patient. Okay. I've got a big family trip coming up. I'm hoping to get a lot of reading done on the plane if I'm not writing a script. We'll see what happens, how much I can get done.
Good luck.
In the next couple of weeks, because I'm also about to start substitute teaching. So this should be fun.
Nice. Just don't talk about pickles in class.
I know. I'm working with elementary kids, so I think I'll be okay. I don't think we're going to be talking about what we're reading if it's not Cat in the Hat, but...
Nice. Well, that's what Feyre started with.
Basically. I mean, yeah. Fair. So...
Actually, it was more like, Rhysand is amazing. Rhysand is the High Lord.
Oh, that's right. He was having her write stuff like Rhysand is so hot and shit. That's right. I can't wait to re-listen to that one. Okay, so obviously, as you guys can tell, ACOTAR is clearly the gateway drug for romantasy. If just beware, if you guys read this book, we cannot be held responsible for not being in Valeris.
I will take it as a trophy if we bring more people into this because
I bet just don't hold us responsible if we give you an urge we can't fulfill.
Right? Okay, that part I can say. But if you want to keep reading and finding more smut, hell yeah, go for it because there's so many good ones.
Yeah, because I'll tell you guys, you're going to get to book 5 and be like, Sarah J. Maas, what's up?
Just finish it. Finish it. I keep seeing all the memes for book 6 coming out this year. I still don't believe it. Until I see it in the bookstore in a release date, I don't believe it.
This is so sad. This is kind of like, when Edward told Bella, like, your blood is my heroine. What Sarah J. Maas gave us, our own new type of heroine, and it's romantasy books.
Mm-hmm.
Great news is there's no weight change.
There you go.
Reading is calorie free, baby.
That's right.
Okay. So we're examining the book with a fresh set of eyes, maybe traumatized slightly. And we are hoping to do a little bit of a deep dive into the plot, the characters, some moments and theories we have about maybe where this storyline could go or could have gone had Sarah changed a few aspects of it. From that, I'm going to let Leslie start us off with the first impressions in the plot.
So, and I have to agree with what our husbands said. There's lots of lunch.
Which statement?
There's lots of lunch.
There is a lot of lunging. So our husbands were reading ACOTAR at the same time, and in true man form, they were ready for some action, and they astutely made the observation that like the first 3/4 of the book is a lot of lunching, a lot of mealtime, lots of
and it is like the second time I read it over, like because I wanted to make sure that I could see what they were talking about. It is, and I guess I just kind of didn't even think about it at the time when I read it the first time. But now that they've said that, it really sticks out.
And so I'm thinking just a slight observation here when rereading a book like that, especially after having been through the whole series, up to the 5th book, you notice the things that you didn't notice before because when you're reading it the first time, your mind is subconsciously looking forward to what could happen next.
Yes.
And you're not taking in all the smaller, minute detail.
Exactly. My first,
so that's kind of a benefit.
My first impression, though, I have to say, is I totally got Beauty and the Beast vibes when she killed the wolf. She was a bit whiny about her sisters, but they did sound terrible.
Yeah, I probably would have some sister issues too. I kind of wish I could get my sister to read these books. Mm-hmm. Sarah is she's not a fantasy girl. She doesn't have a problem with it. It's just not her jam. She doesn't have a problem with romance. I think it's the fantasy thing. And I think, honestly, if she had time, she's a baseball mom. So you guys who are baseball moms understand.
Girl, same.
I'm sorry, let me preface this. She is a Texas baseball mom. And that's a whole other beast.
3 boys, right?
3 boys. One plays football. He's a starting long snapper for an HBCU, actually. I love that. In Texas. And her middle child is an all-star baseball player. Like this kid is, and he's a hustler. All he cares about is baseball. He's tagging all these places. He's dying to play for Bama. Roll Tide. Her youngest is also very athletically talented. He's an amazing little baseball player. He's a great catcher. But honestly, he's the funniest kid I've ever met. I think he's going to be the next Tom Segura. Like he is so freaking funny. And I don't know if it's the youngest of three boys, but the things that come out of that kid's mouth, they're amazing. But anyways, I digress. I could talk about my nephews all day. She's super busy. She just doesn't have time.
If it wasn't for audiobooks, I probably wouldn't get through as many as I do.
100%. I'm telling you right now, I prefer to read the book. I want to read it first, honestly. And I like listening to it second because that's when I catch those details and stuff. Unfortunately, I didn't do that, or I've started that with Crescent City. And because I just don't have time to sit down and read, I don't want to get it on Audible because I'm afraid I'm going to miss more things. I've done okay with like Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
But I have had to rewind a lot.
You have to. I did the same. Fourth Wing is one that I rewound a lot. And I don't feel like I did that with ACOTAR as much.
Well, I'm looking forward to rereading these through Audible because, again, I ain't got time. With that being said, spoiler alerts, guys. If you do plan on reading these books and you really don't want a spoiler, I would suggest maybe skipping us. We get
Pause.
you. No offense taken. We're not going to cry ourselves to sleep at night or not. Nothing like that. We totally get it if you want to do this one on your own and then come back and listen to us later. But if you're ready, we're buckling in and there will be spoilers. So just trigger warning on spoilers if you don't like those.
How did you feel about Tamlin by the end of it?
By the end of the book?
Mm-hmm.
So Tamlin, you love Tamlin, right? She spends this book making you love him. He seems to care so deeply for his people. He rescued Lucian after a horrible, I feel like maybe vague description of what kind of happened. I think you find out a little bit more about Lucian later on. You definitely get the idea that he brought Lucian in. He's Lucian's best friend. He was given the burden of being head of the spring court, something he really didn't want. All he wanted to do was play his fiddle. I'm sorry, that's like the unsexiest instrument. Is that
I'm trying not to laugh as you're saying all this.
I just why the fiddle? At least they could have given him a lute. They could have given him.
I think the fiddle's better than a lute.
Really, like a little lute?
Y'all, if you could only seen the gesture that Jules just made with the lute.
And for that reason, Leslie's not posting this to YouTube. So no, like he wants to play his fiddle and just be like a true younger.
He never wanted power, and I get that
responsibility.
He got it laid in his lap because of poor decisions on the night court and the spring court's behalf. It's both of them.
Yeah. So by the end of the book, you have this sympathy for him. You're definitely made to feel he has had the shit end of the stick. And you're even willing to overlook the fact that he didn't really do a whole lot under the mountain because you're going to reason that Amarantha had him under a pretty tight grip.
But he really did nothing. Like I don't know, reading it the second time, it really just like amplified that like he did nothing. And he still had a small amount of power. All of them still had a small amount of power.
Right.
And it really never goes into why he's like, I can't. That is one phrase I will tell you that I hate that phrase. When someone tells me I can't. And
Really?
That's what he seems like he is. If someone says I can't, it drives me insane.
So if I can't record with you on a day, should I text you and be like, Leslie, I shan't not be able to talk with you amongst the computers today?
It's something more of like, you know the right thing that needs to be done. You see what's happening. You see the writing on the wall. You don't do anything about it. And you go, I can't. That's the I can'ts that drive me up the wall. Okay. If somebody, take for example, one of my children. If I know that they're smart enough to do something, if I know they can work hard and be the best baseball player, if I know they can get on stage and be an amazing ballerina, and they tell me I can't, you just piss mom off.
I love you. You're such a good mom. I love that because I hear I can't from my kids all the time and I just roll my eyes and do it for them. So that's a lesson for me to learn from you. I like that. I can't. I'm gonna start saying no. We don't say that. I like that. I'm gonna take that with me. And
but
also,
if you tell me,
welcome for the parenting advice.
problem. But if you say I can't record, I'll be like, all right, it's all good. But
Well, from now on, I will say I shan't not be able to.
I'm gonna Bridgerton the fuck out of this.
Yeah, who doesn't want to be a Bridgerton? They're badass. That's a whole other podcast. You just let me lead that one because I can talk about some Bridgertons. All right, I've read that series like 4 times.
That's one I have not dove into. I should.
So I can say this about the historical romance. Total side note, guys. We're so bad about that. Side note on romance versus historical romance. With historical romances, they can get very dry, and the plot lines can be kind of blah if you're not careful. The Bridgerton storylines are good, but they can be kind of slow. That's something I love about Lisa Kleypas is her storylines and her plots and her plot twists are always very on like I don't they're not necessarily predictable, but they keep the books fun and the action in with the romance. And
Right.
sometimes Bridgerton can be a little dry and slow sometimes
Yeah.
in certain books and in certain parts. Especially if you're maybe not into that love story. But for the most part, they're all really, really good. Good enough that I've read them multiple times.
Nice.
Those are the differences I've seen them.
Thank you for squirreling with us, everybody.
Yes. Thanks for pivoting heavy with us. Squirreling. I like that.
All right. So Feyre as a protagonist, relatable or frustrating?
I find her relatable.
I do and I don't. She's okay. I grow to love her.
She's
Don't
frustrating
you
in the beginning. No, like let me take that
She's
back. Okay, she is
badass.
frustrating at the beginning. She's badass, but then she's also so stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
And you're almost like, oh my God, Feyre.
Which I get it. I am extremely stubborn. You can I just ask Matt. He's like, oh my God.
Okay, I'm half Palestinian, so
there you go.
Ed throws that in my face all the time. He's like, are you going to be Palestinian about this? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I am. And then he knows he's done because I'm not budging.
So no, I get it that she's stubborn. I know, but she can. I grow to love her. She is strong as fuck towards the end of that book, and she does everything out of love. And but going towards that, all her just whiny and it's hard, and it's my sisters now, even though I don't like them. And oh, Tamlin.
See, I never got whiny from her.
I feel like she's so whiny sometimes.
Really, like okay, so Bella in the Twilight series gets really whiny after a while. I know by the clips, I was like, shut up, you don't even care about Jacob. But I see, and I found Feyre to be pretty relatable in that she was doing what she had to survive. And you know what? As not awesome as it is, that family was the only family she had as toxic as they were.
Right.
I think later in this book that the reason she feels as the youngest such a strong sense of taking care of them is kind of her mom put it on her on her deathbed.
Yeah.
Like, how old was she when her mom died? Like, not even 10, right?
Yeah, she was really young.
She was like 7. And he's like, Feyre, come to my bed and hold my hand while I tell you, my 7-year-old, to be in charge of the family.
Hold all this weight. You got it, right?
Yeah, like, your dad can't handle this. But my 7-year-old can.
Which I can understand why she's whiny, okay? But it just, I don't know, it gets to me sometimes.
Well, and you find out in later books that their mom wasn't really a great mom.
No.
She all she cared about kind of was status and kind of using her daughters as a tool to get the status she felt entitled to.
Yep. Which kind of makes you understand why Nesta's so fucking bitter.
Yes. And Nesta's pissed about a lot of stuff. She's pissed about the parents she thought she deserved, that she did deserve, and she didn't have. I feel for her because she had a lot put on her at a young age. And for some reason, the rest of her family, like Nesta doesn't do anything out of being stubborn, which is just, that makes me mad later.
The only thing I have to say in the first book that she does, that glimmer didn't work on her at all.
Right. She's very strong. That's what I'm saying. She's very strong-willed, and she's
ready to take on. Like, she knows Feyre's going back, and there's probably a chance she's never going to see her again. And there's some bad shit that could possibly happen if she doesn't make it through Under the Mountain. So she's ready. I have to say, I appreciate her strongness of, I got the family. Don't you worry. Go for your love. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Nesta's a character that you go in and out of liking throughout the books. Like, she has these small moments, like in the first book when she's like, listen, I knew where you were the whole time. I even tried to go find you.
Yeah.
if you really love this man or this fairy and everything, like, go, because you're miserable here. Go.
Yeah.
I've got the family. The one thing Feyre did when she was leaving at the beginning of the book, when she gets kidnapped out of the house, forced to leave, kind of.
Yeah.
She says to her dad, she kind of says something to each of the family members, but she tells Nesta specifically, do not marry Thomas. He is not a good person. Do not marry him. And Nesta actually listens.
Yeah. Which he isn't a good person.
No, he tries to rape her when she tells him she wants to cut things off with him.
Right.
Her dad, that moment she has with her dad, and he's like, do not come back if you can. Like, if you find a way to escape, don't come back here. Like, there's nothing for you here. So I think that the family, they love her. They just don't know how to share it. Show it.
Maybe that's something that, like, both of those parents didn't get a lot of love growing up. They didn't really know how to deal with it with children.
It just seems the family seemed more tore up about what they've lost in terms of socioeconomic status than really focusing on what they still had, which was each other.
Yeah. And
instead they started seeing each other as either you're not doing anything to help us, you're letting me down, or you do it because you can.
Yeah.
When Feyre comes home with a whole wolf, there's nothing that can be done with it because Nesta didn't bother to cut the wood that day.
Yeah.
Shit like that. So,
and then that's the part that kind of like annoys the shit out of me, because she's like, well, you're better at it. And I'm like,
Nesta, listen, I said it in another episode. Nesta's a ratchet bitch. Like, she is awful. And I didn't know if you were going to ever find a way to like Nesta, and she found a way to make you like Nesta. So, but again, back and forth with Nesta throughout the whole series.
It really is.
So that's kind of my thoughts on Feyre. She definitely has a lot of character growth throughout the book, and you're right. By the time she comes out from under the mountain, I think the trauma she endures under the mountain ages her significantly, which is funny to say because she aged significantly to begin with.
Yeah, well, true. And in 3 months, the amount she grew.
Yeah, I mean,
But it took a lot of trauma for her to get there.
Massive trauma, and trauma that wasn't properly tended to until she got to the Night Court in Mist and Fury.
But you don't realize that in the first book. The first book, you're like, Tamlin's got her.
The way the first book ends, it's like she's totally fine. She's back with Tamlin. They're going off to the Spring Court, and they're going to have their happily ever after. And everything seems like right as rain. And
there's your Beauty and the Beast, because it's like, oh, he changed from the Beast to this wonderful man, and he's going to take over the court of the Spring Court and be okay.
Yeah, it leaves you wondering, like when Sarah J. Maas finished the book, if she was like, all right, let's see if the people like this. And if they hate it, it's done. And if they like it, like, she found a way to basically end it so that if they like it, I can have this whole other storyline to go down. And if they don't like it, we can just scrap it and start again with a new series.
I almost felt bad, though, for Amarantha, though. Reading it the second time, she is a cruel bitch. Don't get me wrong. 49 years of being a cruel bitch. She has evil intentions. She's chaotic evil. She's with the King of Highburn. Don't get me wrong on that part. But if I saw my sister crucified with ash arrows and then dismembered after being with a human, I'd probably hate humans too.
I don't blame Amarantha for her hate for humans. I don't blame her one bit for her hate for humans. I blame her for all the other horrible shit she does in the name of hating humans.
You didn't need to go that far.
Raping Reese every night. I blame her for murdering innocent people because she doesn't like a certain group. I mean, not to get political or anything, but isn't that the real world now? Like, just because you don't like a group doesn't mean you need to commit violence against them. And
exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying she doesn't have a right to hate humans. I'm not saying it's okay that she hates humans, because it wasn't all humans who killed her sister. It was one human, and she wants to punish a whole group for it, which even in real life is a problem that we see down the line. But yeah, I mean, basically, she's I don't racist. Is being a human a race, or is it like a
species?
The species. She's a speciesist.
Yes, she is a speciesist. I guess that's what you would say. I don't know.
I don't really. I mean, because humans not really a race in the book. It's its own species. So
yeah, it doesn't absolve her of what she does. It doesn't make everything better. Do I understand where her hate comes from? Yes, but like that, I feel bad for almost like a minimal millisecond, and then I'm like, nope, no, you've done too many other horrible things.
Right. So here's the deal. Amarantha's true intentions in the end, she wants power.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like, I want to do this thing and there's going to be horrible things that happen, but in the end, this really good thing's going to happen. It's not an end justifies the means
No.
situations. This is the end justifies Amarantha being in charge.
Yep.
I mean, that's why Hybern doesn't even support her anymore because she's just gone power hungry, which is, well, it's because, I mean, he's power hungry too.
Yeah.
But she went power hungry. So she's not even under Hybern really anymore.
Well, he's just waiting on her to get kicked out so he can take over.
I mean, yeah, he's just waiting for her to hang herself. She's like the annoying little anthill he doesn't want to deal with. And he's just kind of waiting for somebody else to come kick it down.
Yep.
So he can step over it and then go do the rest, basically. Right. He's not stupid. And he sees where her rage and her ulterior motives, really, again, which is power,
right,
are going to be her end. And, you know, like, if you want to talk about like a good villain, like, she's not a good villain because she doesn't have those good intentions. Good villain, like, if you're going to call someone a good villain, I would call like Thanos from the Marvel universe.
Okay.
And simply because, yes, he does try to wipe out half the population, but he does it to save the population. Mm-hmm. Because in his mind, when your populations are overpopulated, then people die of starvation and all these horrible things. He was not after power. He was after the complete opposite. If you're a Marvel Disney person. Mm-hmm. Thanos actually is one of the least selfish villains because he's not after power. What he's doing in his mind is for the betterment of everybody. And that's for everybody to live happily and comfortably. And in order to do that, you have to wipe out half the population because it's overpopulated. Mm-hmm. That was his thinking. It wasn't, and then I'll rule them all. Because after he did his job, he was sad about it. And then he went and lived on like a little farm. He wasn't trying to rule anybody anymore.
Yeah.
That's a villain with better intentions. They're not the good guy technically, but they're not really evil either.
They're chaotic neutral.
Very much so. Amarantha is not chaotic neutral. She has really bad,
chaotic evil.
Yeah, she has really bad intentions. And so I have a hard time feeling bad for her past watching her sister get murdered.
If she hadn't done everything else, like, she jar in with his eye and finger bone, like, sure, he was a dick. Like, totally. Fuck him up.
Not a great guy. Absolutely. What he did was horrible.
Yeah. But leave it at that.
Well, even then, it's a little weird to walk around with his eyeball and his finger.
It is weird.
So much for me.
But, I mean, if you look at what they do, like, the Fays very much so, it's like an eye for an eye, man. You take someone from me, I'm coming back after your family.
And again, Ed and I watch a lot of true crime, and anytime we watch a show where like a little kid gets hurt, I'll look at my husband and he said something to me last night because I was like, baby, if that was our kid, oh, you best believe you'd be visiting me. You know, you'd be visiting me every weekend, you know? And he's like, why do I have to visit you? Why can't I be the one who goes to jail for once? He's like, why can't I be the one who avenges our child? And I look at him and I'm like, because you're the 100% more reasonable when we're pissed. Like, we've had a situation where we saw Gunnar getting bullied and he had to tell me to walk away and he had to handle the situation because I was about to start doing to those kids what they were doing to my child.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. It's those mama bird techniques come out. Like, you see your kid getting hurt by somebody else and it's like, we're about to square up, bud.
Yeah, I didn't know that I would go to jail for dogging a 7-year-old, but I'll do it. Do you remember when Pink won an award several years ago now, and she got on stage and she was talking about how her daughter came home crying because some kid called her ugly. Mm-hmm. And she was winning for some sort of like a human beauty, like promoting body awareness and all. And she was like, and the first thing that came to mind is, oh my God, am I about to beat up a 6-year-old? And I have never related more to that woman.
Yes.
Because I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. When someone you love is hurt, you just want an eye for an eye, and I get that.
Yeah.
But she takes it too far. She doesn't go an eye for an eye. She goes an eye for a whole population.
2 populations, really.
Really, yeah. And control one and eliminate the other.
Yeah.
So no, I just don't think I could ever sympathize for Amarantha. In fact, I had a corn on my foot and I named it Amarantha and I called it Amanta for short.
Lovely. See, ACOTAR just flows right into your life.
Right in every aspect.
Laughable moments or cry moments. I will say the end fucking got me. Fucking got me again.
So the first time I read the book, the end, I didn't cry during that scene. And I guess it was because I was like, well, obviously they're going to bring Feyre back. I mean, she's the main character. They're not just killing her off. I really want to re-listen to this now because I feel like it'll hit me differently, especially knowing how important all those other people come in.
Because
So,
it like
all
it
right.
goes down. It's like kind of it gives a little description. It's like here's the winter and the day and the night and the spring and the
Yeah.
summer and
But
so
then you
yeah.
get to know all those people later and you fall
Yeah.
in love with them. Like you love the Winter Court and I love the Winter Court's queen because she's like, wait, you're High Lady? What the fuck you do become High Lady? And she's like eyeing her man. You hear she's High Lady? Reese made her High Lady. That's all you got to do is make her High Lady. Heard. Ran your kingdom while you were under the mountain, but heard.
Right. Oh, and I go back to it. I was telling Matt the other day, I said, I can't wait for you to really get to know Helion. He is the biggest man whore, and I'm fucking there for it. I love him.
I'm trying to think in my mind, like, who would be a good Helion if we were going to cast him in a movie. And the way he's been acting lately, and I love him, Pedro Pascal. We had said we wanted to cast him in ACOTAR, Helion. And I don't know. I'm obsessed with Pedro. He could play all the parts.
I mean, okay. I think Pedro Pascal could to do that one a little bit.
Right? See?
Okay. Or maybe a Jason Momoa said it.
I'm not hating it. I'm not hitting that at all. Thank you.
He could be a man whore any day. Ooh, okay, Sarah.
Okay, that's actually another episode, guys. We've actually talked about doing an episode where we cast our stuff.
Oh,
so
we've got to. Sarah J. Maas, just keep listening because
Pedro, your first one. Done.
And then Jason Momoa.
Or that lover. You can cast them both. Doesn't matter who, just cast them.
Right?
They can just stand in the background of every scene and I'd be happy.
All right. So Tamlin's mood swings. How do you feel about that?
My 6-year-old throws similar hissy fits. And we call him a pout fish when he does. So Tamlin's just being a big pout fish.
Remember, you got to give him kisses because.
Oh, we do. No, since you suggested that. Does he get mad? Like it's a whole thing. And Ed and I are like crying, laughing. He's like stomping upstairs. I know I sound like a horrible parent right now, y'all, but the 6-year-old, his hissy fits are real.
No, you're not a horrible parent. You're just showing him the realization of what he's doing.
It makes him act like an even bigger pout fish. And then that just makes Ed and I laugh harder. Parents of the year, follow me for more parenting advice. So yeah, that's all he is. He's a big fat
Yeah.
But can I tell you what I do laugh at now? And I don't know if I'll be able to get through this scene in the book if I reread it. And that's the Calanmai, because of all the amazing videos I've seen of Tamlin dancing at the Calanmai. I think we've sent them to each other constantly. And it's usually some hot model dancing around in like short shorts and he just looks ridiculous. So for me, when I think about Calanmai, I laugh now because I'm picturing Tamlin, maybe even with a fiddle.
Feyre pisses me off though in that, like, she's like, I'm so jealous of all the ladies that have ever been with him before. And I'm like, oh, fuck off.
No, okay. Can I tell you
like
why
500 years old.
Because basically what they describe in the Calanmai. Okay, guys. All right. So again, if you have not read these books, let me just explain to you what the Calanmai is. It's a fertility ritual.
It's spring solstice.
It's a fertility ritual that happens on spring solstice in the spring court. Okay. There's drumming, there's music, there's vibes.
Fucking.
Honestly, it reminds me of there's a season of True Blood where like this demon or something is like holding all these like orgy parties in the town and stuff. I think it's like in the 2nd season, maybe the 3rd. And that's kind of almost the vibes you get from this thing. And basically what it is Tamlin, as the High Lord of the Spring Court, basically gets his choice of any woman. All women present themselves and he gets to choose any of these women and just lay it to them. And it's not described as a nice, loving, let's make love thing. Like it's almost described kind of aggressive and not rape because these women are consensual. It's consenting, but he's not gentle. And he's very honest about how he basically like...
It's for like the fertilization of his court, like land. It's not sensual.
It's not a sensual thing. It's literally like he's pouring into a woman in hopes that the land will be fertile for the year. That's basically what the tradition is. And Feyre hears about it and she's not only horrified by it, but she's kind of into it. And so she sneaks off to the ritual.
But yeah, he's a lot gentler with her than he is probably with the rest of them.
Well, when he finds her, because okay, so Feyre sneaks off and goes and does stuff, and this is actually also the first time she meets Rhys.
But it was
Um,
also after Lucian had already pulled her once and said, dude, get back in the house. This is enough.
yes, and this is after she'd already run into Lucian, and Lucian was like, "What are you doing to me? Go inside. You're gonna get me in trouble." So he gets her inside, or he tries to get her inside. She's like,
He's
"Yeah,
the voice
I'm
of
there." She
he's
does a
the voice of
total
reason.
teenage girl. She's a total teenage girl. She's like, "I'll be there in like 2 minutes. Okay, just let me finish getting ready, and I'll be right there." And it was like 2 hours later, he runs into Rhys, who saves her because some pretty evil fae were trying to take her away and
Mhm.
rape her.
Yep.
Rhys comes in, he saves her. And she even says, then, after having seen Tamlin, the chapter ends with, and I look up into the most beautiful face I've ever seen.
Yes.
And I think that always kind of stuck with me after reading that part. I'm like, so Rhys is really beautiful to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's beautiful to everybody, but that's why I nominate Ryan Reynolds to play Rhys in the movie.
He needs to have dark hair though.
He can dye his hair. I'm sorry. I just really love Ryan Reynolds.
Oh my God. Back to this, they have this whole spring solstice thing. It's not what you think.
So when Tamlin, he ends up getting a whiff of Feyre after she gets back to what do they describe it as, a mansion?
Yeah, I guess you would kind of
Or they call it a castle. I can't remember what they call it. A manor. That's what they call it. So when she gets back up to the manor, the big house that she's staying in, she kind of gets cornered in a hall by Tamlin, who's all hot and bothered. And was this after he did his thing already? Like he already.
Oh yeah, and he's already like drunk on fairy wine, so he's
he's drunk on fairy wine, and he pumped it into a poor girl who's probably in a corner crying.
And when she's already pissy, he's like, I couldn't find you.
He was like, I could smell you, but I couldn't find you. Okay. Hey guys, no woman wants to be told, I could smell you, but I couldn't see you. That's not romantic at all. He like corners her into a wall and he like sniffs up her body and is like, you were there. I could smell you, but I couldn't find you.
And then he bites her,
okay,
but not hard to like break the skin.
Yeah.
And the next morning she's braiding her hair and she's like, I'm going to put it to the side to show it off.
To show the bruise off. Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Or like her first hickey and she wears it like as a badge of honor. After he fucked somebody else.
Ta-da! And he drunkily comes and tells her.
Showered and he's sniffing up her. I don't like it. So the Calanmai, it's in retrospect to me, it's kind of laughable.
All right, so we're gonna move forward to where after all of this, after all she went through, he takes her back home. He does it for her own good. Like I do appreciate Tamlin doing like the I don't want you to get hurt. That I don't want something bad to happen to you.
So they finally admit they have feelings for each other, finally have sex.
Mm-hmm.
And she's brazen about it. She's straight up like, come get it. I think she literally tells him to come get it while they're doing it. I'm just saying, Feyre's pretty horny at that point.
Yeah.
So they have sex, like a few times, sometimes a couple times at night, a couple times that morning. And then he's like, it's time for you to go.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Change on the table for you.
Money's on the table. I'll see you next week.
I'm just saying, if this was Jersey Shore, he 100% called her a cab.
And she'd have to get her hairpiece to go back in her bump it.
Her bump it. He sends her on her way. Lucian is livid. Really starts the second half of the book.
Yeah. So she goes home. She finds out that Nesta knew basically the whole time. Warns her family, hey, I'm going back. I love this man. I'm gonna fix it all, but I may not come back. And if bad things come, you better get the fuck out. Nesta agrees. They all go, okay, see you later. She gets back there, and then we get to the 3 trials.
She gets put under the mountain. So she gets back to the spring court, and the manor has been kind of destroyed. She finds it in kind of chaos.
Yeah, the doors ripped off the hinges.
Yes.
Everything.
She runs into the house lady who worked with her, Elise.
Alice.
Is it Alice?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I read it as Elise the entire damn book. Okay.
Because it is an S, not a C.
Because I was also reading it Alice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm going to say Elise because that's prettier. And I just wish there was an E on the end because that would justify that. But it's not even that. It's Alice. So there you go. So she speaks with Alice, who kind of tells her what happened. Listen, this was what was going on. She gives her enough details, but not all of them, so that she goes to the under the mountain to try to save Tamlin. With that, Alice leaves Spring Court to go back to her original court, which was Summer Court.
Yes.
To
Which
find
her
nephew.
sister was killed, and well, her sister and her husband were killed there, and she took the boys and moved to Spring Court.
Right. And so she's going back to Summer Court. She's getting her nephews, and they're going back to hide in Summer Court.
Mm-hmm.
And so she sends Feyre to Under the Mountain with a little bit of advice. The first being, do not drink the wine.
Second, you already know the answer.
Two extremely important things to remember.
Mm-hmm.
The first, more just fun.
It was more almost, it wasn't like you almost know the answer. It was almost like you already know all that you need to know. Something like it's kind of almost a riddle itself.
Yeah, she kind of basically said, you've got the resources you need to win this.
Yeah.
Because they could not tell her about the curse. Like, I knew Tamlin couldn't, but nobody could.
But
And
she
that was-
overheard many times, different pieces.
Right. But that was part of Amarantha's curse, right? Like, you couldn't tell anybody
Yeah.
what needed to happen to break the curse. So she figured it out on her own, and she's not stupid. So there you go. So she goes under the mountain, which you do kind of think is stupid. And I mean, she almost immediately, like, she just goes straight there to turn herself in. She's not trying to hide. She kind of sneaks in and then almost immediately gets found.
Yeah.
And gets taken to Amarantha. Well, she goes to Amarantha and says, I'm here to rescue my love, Tamlin. And at this point, Tamlin is sitting on Amarantha's side because the reason all this started, guys, and I guess we should have said this to begin, Amarantha wants to get it in with Tamlin. She thinks he's hot and he wants nothing to do with her.
Yep.
So this is really all right now. What's happening is because Amarantha was rejected by Tamlin.
Yep. Then she makes Rhys be a man whore.
Yeah, but she's raping Rhys the whole time.
I mean,
so
he's pretty.
Not so pretty that I want to rape him, though.
No, I'm not saying she's right, but like.
Well, that's good, because that would probably end our friendship.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to go back to consent is everything.
Yes, it is. But I'm saying, like, she went from Tamlin, which is good looking, and wanted him. And then the next best thing, she's like, oh, I'm going to go for Rhys. But I'm going to trap him to where he has to, because he's not going to have his court be hurt in any way, form, or fashion. So he would rather give himself than have something happen to his people.
Amarantha has almost an ability. She can read people and she can read their ulterior motives.
But she cannot read their minds. So
she cannot read their minds. We have to go back. Leslie and I both made a major mistake a couple episodes ago and said that Amarantha could read minds. She couldn't.
No.
Rhys read minds for her.
And he had to be obedient to her. He also blocked his from manipulation and also blocked Feyre's too. So he had a small amount of power left for this. Like,
he was wise about the way he manipulated situations.
Yes. But she could not read minds, even though I took it when the first time I read it is she could. But it was because they were so obedient and she was so manipulative that it seemed like she did. She was just wanting power and hungry and had potion issues.
Rhys basically did what Violet and Xaden do in the Fourth Wing books, in that they don't lie, but they give you just enough truth. Like they find a way to split the truth so that it's not a lie. They're still being obedient and they're not being found out, but they're also not giving the information that is being requested. And Rhys finds a way to work that balance with Amarantha those 50 years he's under the mountain with her. And Rhys also has a way of sneaking out from under the mountain, guys. That's something else we forgot to mention. Nobody else that is trapped under the mountain can sneak out, but Rhys has figured out a way to smuggle in and out.
Yeah.
And he sneaks out occasionally, and that's when he runs into Feyre at the Calanmai.
Actually, all Fae were allowed to go to the solstice.
Were they?
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking he snuck out to that one.
No, they're all free for one night, he said.
She goes into the mountain, and Amarantha says, okay, I'll let you have your man, and you can walk away, but we're going to do 3 trials. 1 a month in between those trials.
Full moon. Every full moon.
No, it's once every full moon, which is 3 months, once a month.
Yeah.
You are not my guest. You are my prisoner, so you will be treated as such. And she was put in a prison cell.
After getting beaten up.
After having the shit beat out of her first. She gets put in a cell. And keep in mind, Feyre, while tough as nails, is A, still human, B, not a big human. She's not like a tough linebacker. She's a very petite woman.
Right.
She's not healing at a rate in which Faye would heal. She's beat to all shit. And then she's shortly after pulled for her first trial, which is against something called the Midgard worm.
Yes.
Les, why don't you describe that for us?
You want to see okay. Memes have fucked up that image for me of what it looks like because all I see now is the SpongeBob worm.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. That's basically kind of what I see too. I see basically like a giant brown worm thing with lots of teeth spun throughout it.
Yeah.
I mean, which is basically what's described.
Which is horrifying. But so first off, Lucian heals her from getting beaten up, and then she's thrown into this. And so, thank you, Lucian, for being so sweet.
Lucian sneaks off at his own peril
Mm-hmm.
and heals her, finds her in her cell and heals her.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 0.1 for Lucian,
Even
and
though
a big fat fucking egg for Tamlin.
True.
In case anybody was keeping score, that's a 1 for Lucian and a big fat 0. Goose egg, that's the word. A big fat goose egg for Tamlin.
So she goes through this whole worm thing. She ends up like her bone in her arms hanging out of it by the end of it.
I feel like you're not describing this, Leslie. She's not just going after this worm thing. She's going after this worm thing in his own home. She's basically dropped down into the middle of his home, which is basically made out of his own feces.
Yeah. But it's like black. You can't see what you're getting into.
And you can't see anything. Like all these Fae. And it's also, she's put almost like in like a gladiator arena.
Yes.
There's all these Fae. It's like a big show that are sitting around watching, looking down on this arena. And Amarantha drops her down into this Midgard worm.
Okay, 2 for Lucian. He yells down.
And during which, at one point, she doesn't know, can't figure out where the worm's coming from. She's covered in worm shit. Her arm is hanging off broken, like bone poking out broken.
Mm-hmm.
And out of nowhere, Lucian, that's dead silent, she can hear the worm coming, but she can't figure out where from. And Lucian, God love him, screams out like, to the left or something. And in the nick of time saves her life. Like she is about to die.
They're getting 2 Lucian, 0 for Tamlin.
2 for Lucian. And a big fat fucking 0 for Tamlin, if you're keeping score. She ends up figuring out how to trick this worm, basically helps him fall, kind of traps him into falling into a hole where I guess the skeleton of another worm was underneath and the big bones were sticking up, and it basically impales him on the old worm's bones, and she wins. Amarantha is pissed.
Yep.
Because she did not expect her to survive this. So Feyre is taken away back to her cell, not showered, not healed.
Nope, got a fever.
Thrown back in, covered in worm shit, to rot in her cell for the next month. During this time is when things start to get real good.
Yeah. This is when Rhys steps in.
This is when we add Rhys to our tally score.
So he gets 1. Bing!
So at some point she starts hearing music in the cell, and it's a calming thing for her. It becomes her escape when she's in this horrible prison. And you guys have to understand, like, she's being given nothing to eat. She's being treated more horrifically.
Scraps she gets every once in a while.
Yeah, like every once in a while she gets scraps. Lucian would be sneaking off to take care of her and help her, but at this point, he in big trouble with Amarantha.
Yeah, which you'll soon find out.
And you'll find out exactly how she handles that situation. So, does Feyre, when she's laying there, is she wondering why Lucian hasn't come to her yet? Is she worried that he's in trouble?
At that point, she's like just feverish and like in pain. So she's not even really thinking about that.
Yeah,
so
and she's also, now she's got a fever because of the worm shit she's covered in oozing into her wounds, right? So she's going septic, basically. She's going septic.
So Rhys comes in, saves the day, basically gives her a contract of, I want you for 2 weeks out of the month. She talks it down to 1, even though she would have said, at the end, she said, I would have gone with you every single week. If that
I would have gone with you forever. Yeah. If you had kept pushing, basically, is what she tells him. And he knows this. Yeah. But he doesn't, again, because he's amazing, he doesn't push it.
So he takes a week. He goes, okay, 1 week. That's fine.
And he heals her arm, magically cleans her up. But here's the deal. When you make a deal with somebody in the night court, and this isn't just a like pinky promise, the deal is tatted on both of your bodies. Maybe not in the same place, but you will get a tattoo on both of your bodies somewhere. And it becomes a link between you two.
It's like a bond in a way.
It is. It's like a weird ink bond on your body. And so the night or two after he makes this deal with Feyre, 2 wraths appear before her. And they paint her into a dress, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Well, it's just sheer fabric that like...
It's like super sheer fabric.
Covers her boobs and then like comes together in the middle to hide her hoo-ha.
Yeah,
So
it's a very risque type dress they put her in,
yeah,
and then they escort her down to Reese.
yeah.
And when Amarantha sees her, she's like, "What is this bitch doing here?" And Reese says, "Oh, I made a deal with her. She's mine now, and as such, I want her with me. She can be your prisoner, but at night she's mine." Is
And she gets to
basically
get
what.
drunk off Fey wine over and over again. So she has these terrible hangovers basically every day because
Well,
Fey
and
wine's not like regular wine. It's like
no, Fey wine
1,000 times
basically
more.
has like a date rape drug in it,
Yeah.
and it's not obviously going to be treated like a date rape drug to the Fey, but it's really intense for humans.
Yeah.
And Feyre basically blacks out. She takes a couple sips and she blacks out for the night and loses all inhibitions and finds out that she's like dancing all sexy for Reese and
Mm-hmm.
doing all these things, but all it's really doing is more putting on a show for Amarantha, which is
Right.
what Reese needs. Reese needs Amarantha to think that he's got Feyre under control.
Well, and Lucian kind of gets pissed at her at this point because he's like,
Yeah,
I
Lucian's living.
would have
Finds
gotten
out about
here.
the
I just
Lucian
couldn't get here then.
couldn't get to you in time, right?
Yeah.
He was like, I was in trouble. I had an eye on me and I couldn't get to you, but I was trying to get to you to heal you. Why would you make that deal?
Yeah.
And this tattoo that appears on Feyre, it appears on one of her arms.
Yeah.
And so it's not something she can hide.
No.
So then we get to the second trial.
Yes. So we get to the second trial, and there's 3 lovers, and basically kind of a question and
Like a riddle.
answer, a riddle. Lucian's tied up because Amarantha's done with his shit at this point and just wants him to get crushed. All these spears are coming in. The wall's coming up. She's going to get flattened at the same time. It's like a bad Indiana Jones thing. And
It really is. It really is.
and so she goes, she can't read. And Lucian's like, are you fucking kidding me?
This is when everybody finds out she can't read.
Yeah.
So Feyre, and this honestly, this was a hard scene for me because I could feel her like torment.
Yeah.
Because what she can read very little. She
Yeah.
can read sight words.
Yeah. Like the, but, went. And that's about
Right,
it.
right. And we find out that the reason Feyre never really, her sisters are educated and she wasn't, is I guess right when she was beginning her education was when her mother died.
Yeah.
And
They
everything
never
kinda
took the
went
time to
shit.
teach her.
And neither of her sisters took the time to teach her, which also pisses Reese off something fierce.
Yeah. So due to her tattoo, though, that's what saves her.
Right.
Because
So this is when she realizes Reese can talk to her through her tattoo.
so she goes to reach for one of the levers. She gets a searing pain. She tries to reach for it again, gets a searing pain in her hand again, then goes for the next one, searing pain, then goes for the third one and goes, oh, I can touch that one. It doesn't hurt. So she goes back to the first one and gets a searing pain again. And she goes, okay, finally. So she gets the third one. It's like 6 feet or 6 inches from like impaling her.
By the time she figures out what's going on with her arm and what's happening, Lucian's like, Feyre, make a choice. For the love of God, make a choice. Like he's
and his
literally-
brothers are sitting there laughing. I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
you, Eris.
Eris and his asshole clan are sitting there laughing. Although later he tries to play it off like that was a horrible moment for him. But
Was it really, hon? You don't laugh if
I
it was
think
that
she's
bad.
I have a feeling things are going to change with Eris.
I don't
by the
like
last
him.
book less. Well, we're not supposed to. I think something more is going on with him. And for me, it goes back to that one moment when Morgan yells at him about you killed me because I slept with an Illyrian. You tried to kill me and leave me for dead
Mm-hmm.
at my brother's or at my cousin's doorstep, basically.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you talking about? Like, he didn't really know what she was talking about. And he was like, that's not what happened. Like, so I'm curious to see what happened, what actually really happened in that, because they led you to believe that that's not that she's not remembering the situation 100% correctly. Okay. So she, with the help of Rhys, is able to save Lucian and make the final choice. Nobody has figured out. I kind of thought that somebody would figure out that she was being manipulated by her tattooed arm. Then comes the third trial, guys. We're down to the third
But
and final trial.
before the third trial, Tamlin ends up pulling her in the side room and like getting dirty with her and smudges all her fucking tattoos on her. So there's ink like all up her arm now and smeared. And Rhys comes over. Thank God he did, because both her and Tamlin would have been dead if Amarantha caught her.
Yeah. So very, very unsneakily, he pulls her into like a closet.
So that
and starts manhandling her.
Let's go. We're gonna go back to the tally, and we're gonna say 3 Rhys, to Lucian and a -1.
Yeah, I think let's make that a negative because he absolutely put her at danger doing that. And Reese finds them. He's like, "What are you doing, bro? Are you trying to ruin everything?" Tamlin nor Feyre get that there's a much bigger story going on at this point, but Reese is trying to literally get everybody freed, and they fucking it up.
Yeah.
So Reese gets really frustrated and basically is able to get Tamlin out of there in time for Amarantha to come in and catch Reese making out with Feyre.
Yeah.
And that is their first kiss, and it is not a great one. He doesn't want it to be a great kiss.
He's pissed.
It's not supposed to be. He's pissed. Amarantha catches them kissing. I think judges him a little bit for kissing a human or whatever, and that's kind of the end of that. She's kind of like, ugh, that's trash. Why would you do that? So then we're down to the third trial. And as you know, Amarantha's awful. So, of course, the third trial is going to be the worst. Feyre is presented with 3 Fae, a female, a male, and a third. Their heads are all covered and they're unveiled one at a time. The first Fae is a young man.
Yes.
I'm correct.
And she doesn't know either one of those two.
She doesn't know either of these Fae, but she is told by Amarantha, kill them.
Which it takes her a while to do. It's hard for her to do.
She doesn't do this gladly, guys.
It's debilitating that she has to pick up a knife every time and stab them.
Yes, and she's not just like kill them by shooting them with an arrow. She wants Feyre to stab them in the heart.
Yeah.
And kill them.
So she does the first 2.
Feyre's a hunter. She can do it quick and she can do it painless. And the first guy is yelling at her. He's making it really hard. He doesn't want to die. And he's crying. He's upset. The second is a female, and it's like she gets the bigger picture.
She's just like, just get it over with. Make it short.
Like, if you do this, I think she thinks that, or Feyre can actually save them. Mm-hmm. And so she kind of very bravely looks at Feyre and is like, do it. Like, I forgive you. Do it. And so Feyre stabs her, kills her. And then the third person, are y'all ready? Hold on to your butts. You know who the third person is?
Fucking Tampon.
Fucking Tamlin. Boom. So they unveil Tamlin.
She freaks out. She's like, I can't
stab him in the heart. She's like, I can't kill him. I love him. I'm here to save him.
And then is when we're going to Celine Dion it again. It's all coming back.
All coming back. It's all coming back to her now.
Alice's words of you already know. And all the snooping that she did of Lucian saying, for a guy with a heart of stone, you sure seem sensitive.
Throughout the entire book, comments had been made about Tamlin having a heart of stone. And that's when it clicks to our poor, sweet, illiterate Feyre.
And she goes, oh shit, I can stab him.
I can stab him. His heart is made of stone.
So she does.
And guess what, guys?
Fucking plot twist. He can't heal. Does not heal himself like he's supposed to. Because he's supposed to kill her after he gets stabbed. Reese has already made it aware that Tamlin's going to end this fucking thing.
Yeah. Tamlin is going to kill Amarantha the first chance he gets. And Amarantha knows that.
Yeah.
So one of the parts of her little curse in him having a stone heart is that once his heart is stabbed, he cannot heal.
Yeah.
And so as he lays there, not healing, but Feyre has passed all 3 trials, therefore she is supposed to technically be free to go.
Right.
Amarantha is livid that she figured out the secret.
She individually starts breaking all her bones.
She literally lifts Feyre up and starts breaking every single bone in her body individually. Mm-hmm. The little ones, the big ones.
And when she passes out, she wakes her up again.
And every time she passes out, she wakes her up and she's just killing her. She's slowly killing her in front of everybody. Even though they're all saying, you made a deal, she passed. And then it hits Feyre. Oh, God, we totally left out the one part. She said you have 3 trials or you have to figure out this riddle.
Yeah,
and she gave her a riddle at the beginning of Under the Mountain that she had to answer every time. And you know what? Ed tried to guess every single time and he could never get it right either. He said time was the answer once. Fate was the answer once.
Fate is close.
I told him fate was closer than I ever got.
Yeah.
But the answer to this riddle is love.
And which she yells out.
And it hits Feyre as the very last bone is about to be broken.
Her last breath.
When with her last breath, she goes, love. And Amarantha's like, what? And she goes, love. It's the answer to your riddle, love. And with that, she dies. The riddle is said, the curse is officially broken. And all of the Spring Court masks come off. And all of the control Amarantha has had on all these fays is done.
Yep.
It's completely broken. And it takes Tamlin all of 2 seconds to heal turn into a beast and decapitate the bitch.
Yep. Slit her throat.
I like to say decapitate because, you know, if you slit it well enough, it's basically considered decapitation. And that's a little bit of information for you true crimies. Little morbid info you get when you watch a lot of morbid shit.
So she took her last breath. The High Lords are circling around because Tamlin's like, save her. And he's still
Amarantha's dead.
He's still at negative. Well, okay, he's at 0 at this point because he did, decapitate her. So we'll give him a point.
I mean, he killed Amarantha, which he should have.
Okay, so he's at 0 now. That takes away his -1.
I kind of wish Rhys could have gone in and fucked with her mind first.
Yeah. He tried though, but remember, he tried with the ash dagger and she twisted his talons into his body to where he started bleeding.
So, I mean, Rhys does try to attack her and she stops him. I wonder if at that moment, Amarantha kind of realizes that Rhys is not on her side.
Well, I hope so.
Well, I think it would be pretty obvious at that point. As he's laying there holding Feyre's dead body. She's dead at this point. She's a corpse. He's holding her body and he's crying to his friends. And Rhys walks up silently and drops a bit of his soul basically into Feyre.
Yeah.
And Tamlin sees it and does the same.
And so does the winter court, the fall
winter court,
the day
and
court.
These courts are slowly starting to come forward because they're recognizing. I think autumn, of course, is the last, but these courts are these courts are recognizing the sacrifice she made. They can all go home now, and it's because of this woman, this human.
So she becomes Fae because of this.
And so she wakes up Fae, not just Fae. She wakes up high Fae.
High Fae.
High Fae. You know what's cute about my precious husband? We've been, talking about all this stuff, and even though it's spoilers, he's listened to the As, Lucian, and Elaine debate. And when I told, he goes, wait, they become Fae? And I go, yeah, they do, against their will. And he goes, are they high Fae? And I love that he asked that. I was like, yeah, baby, they're high Fae. Good question. But so anyways, so she becomes not just Fae but high Fae, and the book basically ends with her having one last meeting with Rhys before leaving Under the Mountain. And I think
the book ends with her doing the dirty with Tamlin under the mountain, and then he has one last meeting with Rhys.
Oh, does she do it with him under the mountain? Okay.
They're one of the last to leave. She's like, hey, baby, I'm back. Fuck me here. And he's like, I got you. And
I would have a hard time, I think, wanting to do it there.
No, that's what I thought too.
I just feel like that's going back to the scene of the crime.
Right. You're going to do it in the scene of the crime.
Yeah, it's kind of, did you ever watch Sons of Anarchy? Well, there's a couple, I think it's in the first season, Jax and Tara, and she has a stalker who follows her to where she is, and they end up killing him, and then they do it right beside his body. It's weird.
That's weird. Yep, that's kind of what it's like. And then Rhys is like, okay, see you once a week.
Yeah, and so then Rhys
once a month.
Rhys comes and he sees her and he's like, hey, listen, we still have a deal. You still got that tat. I may not stop. He tells her, he's like, I'm going to give you some time to adjust, but when it's time, I'll call for you and you'll know it's time for you to start to basically come through on your end of the bargain. And she even tells him, she's like, listen, I would have given you everything. And he was like, yeah, I know. And he just kind of smiles at her and leaves and tells her, be happy, Feyre.
And then Tamlin's like, we're going to figure out how to get you out of this, babe.
Yeah.
No deal for this.
Yeah. And then all Tamlin and Lucian care about is getting her out of the deal. And then literally the book ends with her taking Tamlin's hand and walking up to the manor at the Spring Court because they've returned to Spring Court. So and that's where it ends.
Before we continue, I want to tell you about the team behind our logo and all the graphics you see on our social media. Sometimes We Get You Media. These guys are an AI-powered creative studio, and honestly, they made the entire branding process so easy for us. They do logos, social media graphics, videos, content creation, complete marketing strategies, basically everything you need to make your brand look professional and stand out. And the best part, they're fast, affordable, and they actually get what you're looking for. No endless revisions or confusion. If you're a business owner or creator who needs branding that pops, check them out at sometimeswegetyoumedia.com or shoot them an email at info@sometimeswegetyou.com. Sometimes We Get You Media. They definitely got us.
By the end of it, when you're getting to it and thinking now, getting to the end of that first book, did you still believe Tamlin was a good love interest, or were we just desperate for anybody to love Feyre?
I was still all for Tamlin at the end of the first book. I remember in the beginning of the second book when they're getting ready for the wedding, I was anxious because I was like, oh, I don't want anything to ruin our wedding.
Right. Yes, I agree. I was there with you.
Even though she was panicked, in my mind, was like, oh, it's just cold feet. I was still convinced Tamlin was her man.
I didn't like the anger issues. Now, I will point that out with all his little hissy fits that he would
Oh,
have.
100%. I was already annoyed with him, but I thought, like in ACOTAR, they would find a way to make him not such.
But they also, like, Rhys had his suave and he showed good qualities, but there's still, after he said, he killed Tamlin's brothers, it's like, you're not that good of a dude either.
Right, right. But I just still was left with this feeling. I was always left with a feeling when it came to Rhys that there was more to him and he wasn't as bad as he was made out to be.
Right.
I got that from the very beginning, because if he was as horrible as he was made out to be, he would have ratted out Feyre. He would not have given a fake name.
Yeah.
He would have changed things things would have played out very differently. So I don't think that I never thought that Rhys was wholly bad. I don't think I ever thought that he was wholly bad. I don't.
No, I thought he had definitely some darker sides to him.
And I was for sure convinced he wasn't after he started taking her back to the Night Court, and he was more concerned about her healing.
But that wasn't the first book still, though. You still, at the end of that, didn't realize that like,
no,
what was going to happen.
No. But I still had a feeling, though. And then it became even stronger once we got into the second book. But that the way the conversation with him and Feyre ended at the end of the first book led me to believe
he was not evil.
That there was more to him than met the eye. And that's very much the case with Rhys. Rhys is like literally the heartbeat of Perinthian. Yeah.
So Amarantha, good villain writing or just unhinged?
Oh, she's just unhinged.
I think she's unhinged, but I think Sarah J. Maas wrote her very well.
100%. No, like I hated that character for sure.
She was a great villain. Like she was
a wonderful villain.
You hated every part of her.
There is something about women villain, like a woman as a villain, that just it hits. I don't know what it is, but a good female villain, to me, is more terrifying than a man.
I don't know. I think they can both, but she was definitely terrifying.
But you know what I feel about her being a good villain? I don't. She was just unhinged.
She was crazy as fuck. And then the transformation. Do you think it was a gift or a curse for her?
Oh, it was a gift. It was a gift. It was 100% a gift. Because she wasn't just turned into a high fae. She was turned into a high fae with a lot of really fucking cool gifts.
True.
And they're very useful for her once she learns how to master them.
Mm-hmm.
So
she doesn't know at this point. She's just
for Feyre and what she was meant to be and the kind of high lady she ends up being, it's a huge gift.
Yeah.
Because she's a fair high lady. She's a loving high lady. She loves her people and she wants what's best for them. And it was never about power or money or any of that for her. It was just about living a good life where you had your basic human rights or fae rights. Out of the three sisters, obviously, Feyre was the choice in terms of high lady because she was the most reasonable.
All right, wrapping it up. Book 1. It was crazy.
It was
iconic. It was traumatic.
It was the start of a movement.
Romantic. It sucked you in. Sucks you in.
And it sets you up for such a cool universe.
Yeah. And it hits harder when you reread it. I'm telling you, I soaked in so much more the second time reading it than I did the first.
I love that. I'm really going to have to sit down and reread it. I didn't think I needed to for this because Ed had just read it and it's been less than a year since I've read it, but now I kind of want to go back and reread it. And
you know who else rereads it? Margot Robbie.
Really?
Yes. She loves Throne of Glass too. She says she reread Throne of Glass multiple times, which, god damn it, I gotta do it. I just gotta finish it.
Oh, you finish that, I'll visit Crescent City. Okay. I just don't know how much more we can do on this.
I think we've taken it all.
I think we have. I think we've done it all. I think
we're going to start diving into all of them, guys. Some of the books we're going to have to do more than one episode because you guys don't want to listen to us for 3 hours. So,
I mean, I love the sound of my own voice, but you guys probably don't. And I'm okay with that.
More will come. We're going to go through each one. We've got some great ones in between coming up. So stay tuned. DM us. Send us your unhinged memes and crazy reels you find. We want to see them. Leave answers in the comments about questions that we've had in the podcast. Stay tuned for further upcoming episodes of more deep dives into characters, books, and all things romantasy.
Yes. Next episode, you guys can look forward to us diving into a Court of Mist and Fury, like Leslie said. And that is the book that changed everything, guys. So everything we just talked about takes a tailspin in this next book. And I'm excited to deep dive into that one with Les.
So until next time, stay brine.
And remember, we all fell for Tamlin in book 1, and that's okay. But moving forward, Tampon better have one hell of a redemption story for us to love him again, or else we're done.
Fuck this, we're done.
Just fuck it, we're done. Just kidding, never.